I called this video a letter to my younger self. Why I'm doing it? I came across someone on the internet and I could see they were in a lot of pain. And I thought in some ways I could see that pain and other people couldn't quite see the depth of that pain, and they couldn't really see where it came from. And I could see a lot of myself in that person. And whether that person watches this video or not, that doesn't really matter. I'm making the video in a sense for myself, in a sense to reflect on what I would tell my younger self if I could go back. I'm also making it for anyone it helps, for anyone out there who's feeling pain and who hasn't yet found a place to deal with that pain. Today, many young people are quite wise. They know from television, from their friends, from the internet. They know so much about gender, about sex, about sexuality. And the questions I had when I was young, they've already answered. But some people don't have it all figured out. I certainly don't. I didn't then, I don't now. So I'm not really giving advice because, well, I don't have the answers. I'm just reflecting. So let me reflect. I suppose it's in a word, pain. If you see someone in pain, you have a need to help. And people in pain are often very good at disguising that pain, and I understand the pain that comes from being a transsexual who's in the closet. And I recognise when someone else is experiencing that pain, when they're choosing to remain in that closet. And I think the advice I would give to my younger self and to that other person who is transsexual, who perceives himself as transsexual, who might be transsexual, who is asking the question, am I transsexual? My advice would be explore it, and explore it in terms of talking. Explore it in terms of talking to someone you trust, someone you care about, who cares about you. That might be your best friend, that could be a parent, that could be a teacher, that could be your doctor. Explore it in a way that makes sense to you. Now, you might feel, well, I know myself. You might feel you don't need happiness, that somehow it's not necessary, that it's a luxury that you don't deserve, perhaps, or you just aren't ever going to get. You might feel that society is always going to be prejudiced. There's always going to be sexism, misogyny, hatred. Now, I can't say that society is always a wonderful place, or even that it's often a wonderful place. What I can say is the only way you'll be happy in yourself is if you explore who the person that when you look in the mirror, if you explore who that person is, if you ask the question, who am I? And if you figure out who you are in yourself, and I don't think you can do that alone. And I think if you try to do that alone, it just won't quite work. Especially if you feel you might be transsexual. I think you need to sit down with someone, maybe even a counsellor, but at least someone you trust. So think, who in the world am I closest to? Sit down with that person and tell them what you're experiencing, tell them what you're feeling, and that might help you. I think that's what I should have done maybe a couple of decades ago. I think that's a good thing to do. I've reached a point in my life where I'm reasonably happy with where I am. I can see that many people are having more difficulty than I am. I'm having my own set of difficulties, but I can perceive other people having deeper difficulties. They're still struggling to come to terms with who they are. And I just really can't stress it strongly enough. You need to figure out who you are. That doesn't mean that you'll necessarily be one person or another. I would describe it as you need to open a door and let the light come in and let that light shine into who you are so that you can see who you are. When you open that door, that doesn't mean walking through. It might mean walking through, but that's your choice. And you might decide you're perfectly happy where you are, or you might decide to walk through that door. And I'm just going to say that talking to someone, exploring it, could help you understand that. Thank you.